Hello everyone. It's James again. And today I want to talk about something very important. And that is why the narcissist tries to get personal information out of you. And how they go about doing so. You see, getting to know someone new can be enjoyable. Or it's supposed to be anyways. Meeting someone that's on the same page as you are on. Someone that might like similar things as yourself. And maybe they have some cool things about them that are different as well that you enjoy learning about them. But you see, someone that grew up in a home with narcissistic abuse. Though you might ask them certain questions about these likes and dislikes, you might steer away from asking them personal information about themselves. And I think part of that might be because you deep down inside don't want to have to share personal information about yourself. And you realize it's none of your business. Most people that grew up without genuine friendships and relationships, once they feel they are developing such a connection, they are very happy with this new interaction. And the last thing they are concerned about is playing the role of an inspector trying to find out every detail about the life of this new person that you are around. But here's the thing. At some point in time when you are around this person, when the mood is fun and lighthearted, they meaning this new friend or new person you might be dating, will hit you with a super personal question. And here's the thing. Even though it might be a bit of time that has passed, the truth is, it might not be enough time that has passed to ask such a question of you. But because you feel programmed to answer to these types of questions, you get embarrassed at first. Then you answer the question. But then something happens. You might actually feel good and accepted. Meaning, the answer you gave them about this personal question seemed well received and understood. And this is how you know you are likely dealing with, at bare minimum, a toxic person in general, no matter if they are a clinical narcissist or not. At some point in time, it could be 6 months later, they will take the answer to this question you gave them and use it as a source of their amusement. They might joke about it to you in a way that's not funny in the least bit to you. Or they might start talking about it at the dinner table with other people around. Other people that have no business knowing your business. You see, narcissists will employ many tactics to get your tea or information. Also, they can use it against you. Oftentimes narcissist friends will use the tactic I just explained. Because they want to make you know that you are at the bottom of the pecking order and they are the one in control over everything. That you need their friendship and they don't need you. You have to ask yourself. Though you might not engage in asking someone certain questions about their life, simply because you don't want that done to you because of your upbringing. But the other and extremely healthy reason is, it's flat out none of your business. You see, you have to ask yourself, how does this person knowing this particular thing about you enhance your friendship together? How does it make hanging out with them more fun? Though you might feel happy that someone at least on the surface understands you, which hurts twice as worse when they use such information against you. But you still and yet might have an initial feeling of relief that someone so-called understands you. But just the same, you might not feel such relief. You might feel drained and upset and less than when you walk away from such an interaction. Then later on you might talk yourself out of such a feeling, only to be let down several months later, when your situation is mocked, laughed at and made fun of. You see, yes, certain things can be funny, but not everything is a joke. And you have to ask yourself, when was the last time this person said good job for something you accomplished? Or when was the last time they honestly checked in with you? Not just to get more information, like they are looking for a big data dump about what you are doing. Also, they just have data for the sake of having it. But they were encouraging and happy for your hard work that you are putting into your life. Yes, it's very true. It's been said more people can't see your dreams. And most people that are the closest to you can't see your vision of what you want for your life. So if you aren't bringing it up to them, why are they bringing it up to you? Especially if they've acted like in the past that your goals and vision don't make much sense to them. Well, the answer is you are providing them with data and comedy material. Seriously. And they pride themselves on getting any kind of information out of you that they want. They might, in a joking way, say you are slacking off and not trying hard at making a better life for yourself. Because they know you will go into prove mode and list off all of the things in detail that you are doing and working on. And now they have your data, which was what they were looking for. And they see you as stupid. In their mind. Works every time. Like a Jedi mind trick. All I have to do is put them down and make a joke against them or tell them I don't believe them, and they will go into prove mode. And dump all the tea about themselves and their lives. All to prove their worth as a person and worth to what they are doing. But again, when was the last time they said anything good about you or your talents? Then ask yourself, when was the last time you used such tricks to get them to spill the tea about their life? And even though you don't pump them for information, when they speak about a work project they are working on, or something they just accomplished that is important to them, you show genuine, not fake, but genuine happiness and encouragement. And I can tell you, this is one of the telltale signs for the narcissist. You are who you are. The little information you know about them, you never use against them. And you encourage them genuinely in their life. Yes. You enjoy fun verbal banter. But you never cross the line with hurtful comments and using personal information against them. So they test the waters and use your information against you. They cross the line and say things that might be hurtful and are likely offensive. They might bring up a conversation in front of others, using your personal information that you told them in private. They might even say, "Hey, why don't you tell them the time that..." You can fill in the blank with your story that you told them. They do this because they know you will be made to feel uncomfortable. And they know it will be a blow to you inside. And it will make you feel unsure and uneasy. Because here this person seemed like someone that genuinely cared. Because in your mind, why else would they ask such things? But now here they are putting your personal life on public display. You see, if someone truly understands how hard you had it growing up, they surely must know it's embarrassing for you to talk about. Simply because anyone speaking so-called bad about their family is indeed embarrassing. I don't care where you are from or how you were brought up. It's kind of a universal thing. And if you share certain information about your upbringing, because they are pumping you for the tea, and they turn it all into a public joke, or even in private they turn it into a joke, please know, this isn't meant to uplift your spirits. It's done for their amusement and their amusement alone. Because it gives them a surge of narcissistic supply that they were able to get such information out of you to begin with. And they were later to make you feel uncomfortable with such information, and you just sat there and took it. And you still continued to hang out with them. Now is it worth to confront such people? No. Because that's what they are looking for. The grand messy emotional outburst of you unable to take it anymore. However, the goal should be to be too busy to deal with such a person. And when they ask you the type of questions to try to get the tea out of you, just do the best you can to keep it short. Try to come up with an answer that will work for you. Something that you can use in universal situations. One good thing to do is just laugh and change the subject to something, just like you never heard them. Narcissists do this all of the time, and a good tactic to use against them. As an example, they might ask, "Hey, what about that thing you are working on?" Simply because they want to see how long you will talk for. They want to see how much data and tea they can get out of you. Then once you're done answering their question, they might reply with a simple, "Oh, okay. As if your answer didn't even matter to them to begin with. And likely they were just asking for this information to share it with others. All the while they make fun of you. Oh wow. I was just hanging out with so and so. And they think they are going to do this. Or they are going to be that. So if they ask, hey, how's that thing you're working on? Laugh and change the subject. Or you can say, oh, it's going well. By the way, did I tell you about? And change the subject to something that's not important to what you are doing. You have to understand you are under no obligation to answer anything to anyone. And if it's someone you're dating, narcissists use such information to flat out destroy you. Now narcissist friends can and will do the same. But some of them just want to amuse themselves at your expense from your life problems and turning every one of them into a joke. But they can also turn dangerous too. And just like I was mentioning, someone that you are dating can use this information to harm you in a lot of areas of your life. There are a great many that have told someone new they were dating simply because the other person asked all of the right questions. And maybe they felt comfortable around this person. So they told them about some of their upbringing issues. Then a few years later, this hurt and pain you suffered as a child was used against you. One of the classics is, you can't even forgive your mother or father. As if to say you are a terrible person. Or they might say, is the problem you have with your mother or father all their fault, or do you have a role to play in it? This is all to make you second guess the narcissistic abuse you suffered as a child. And the abuse this new or long-time dating partner is about to or is already unleashing on you. They might even use some of this information in a court of law in divorce or family court. They might talk about how you are unwilling to even speak to your own mother or father, painting you out to being a bad individual. All the while providing no context as to why you don't speak to them. And they know if you stand up in court and try to defend such negative comments about your character, that you will look like the crazy one. Something we've talked about a long time ago on this channel. Narcissists want to build a file on you. Meaning while you are genuinely wanting to get to know them, you are making a connection. And they are trying to find out where you are the weakest so they can poke right in that spot and make you feel terrible. The goal is to not be shocked when a weird question comes out of left field. Because that's how a lot of toxic people hit you with these questions at first. You believe the getting to know you phase is going well. Then boom. You are hit with some random weird question that makes no sense and has no relation to what you are talking about. And this kind of tactic is done on purpose. Because if they throw you off, you will be more likely to be uncomfortable enough to comply and answer. This is why it's important when getting to know anyone. A friend. Someone you're dating. To be prepared for these off-of-the-wall questions. Now I don't like it when narcissists or other toxic people give these do tests to their potential victims. But what you can do is run a test of your own. A very much so valid test, I would say. You can share something that is indeed personal and that is indeed true. But make sure it's not that important. Keep the answer short. And if 6 months later they use this information that seemed serious enough to you, even though it might not have been something that was extremely serious, but if they take that information and turn it into a joke, you have your answer. Or if it's someone you are dating and they say, see, that's why you do X, Y, or Z. Because of. Fill in the blank with what you told them. Then you have your answer. Look. I don't like the way society is going. People are becoming more and more narcissistic and looking to use people all of the time. And it is indeed nice when you connect with someone. Someone that understands you. Someone that cares about you. And when we've grown up without love, it can be really challenging to not let it all hang out with how much we want to get to know this person and be open with them and share with them. So we do need to keep that part in check. Do we have to be a completely closed book? Not completely. But not everybody should have access to you and your information. And there must be a lot of time and getting to know someone before your personal information of any kind is shared. And even then, I would ask yourself, what value to the relationship would come from sharing all of the mess you went through? You see, I've used the Rocky movies a lot here as an example. Adrian clearly knows that Rocky has gone through some stuff. But does she go digging in his pain? No. Rocky knows Adrian is shy for a reason. But does he go digging in her pain? No. They just got to know each other over time, with him showing up at the pet shop Adrian worked at day after day. And likely she heard, though Rocky might not have the best of careers being a collector for a loan shark. But she likely knows and has heard. Rocky didn't beat up the people he had to collect the money from. She likely also heard that he's kind to everyone in the neighborhood. And she's likely heard these stories of Rocky's kindness and generosity for years. Why dig in his pain? And why dig in her pain? But maybe they did discuss things in their fictional world. But not one time did one another use their pain against each other. And when Rocky did politely joke about her being shy, it was all in love, not in a way to make fun of her. He said, "When I first saw you wearing 20 sweaters and suffering from the disease of shyness, I knew you were the best woman in Philly." And though he was using humor, he was using humor to tell the truth. He really did believe and feel and think and know she was the best woman in Philly. And that was his Rocky way of telling her so. When Rocky got laid off from his job, she never threw it in his face. When he said he was afraid to fight Mr. T, she never recalled to him about how he was once afraid as a way to make him second-guess himself. Simply put, they didn't pump each other for information to use it later. And nor should someone that is trying to get to know you for a friendship or dating relationship. And the moment they use the slightest thing you told them in private to take you down a notch, or for their own laughter or amusement, they are telling you who and what they are. Believe them. Believe them. Well, that's all I have for today. I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time, bye for now. And be good to yourself.